Now, let me say this slowly so nobody misunderstands it. This is not a warning. This is a receipt video. Because what you're about to see, it already started on what you see. This is what 2026 is going to look like, y'all. 10,000 nice nations on the way. But he had options. This is definitely what I voted for. That right there. That's not a headline. That's not a press conference. That's policy touching pavement, if you will. No speeches, no hashtags, and definitely no excuses. Just federal agents knocking on real doors in real neighborhoods. And notice something important. Nobody's asking for permission. Nobody. And if you think this is just a one city testing the waters, hey, man, you new here and you're already behind.
Exactly. If you weren't breaking the law and violating people's rights, you wouldn't need to do that. Tenemos que llamar a alguien para aquí?
In a due process. 30 of them.
Nothing you guys do is due process. Don't even pretend. Maybe 15 years ago it was, but not today.
This is bad, guys.
Every single one of you.
This is bad.
There's more over here.
People guns, honestly.
Right? What the hell kind of crap is that? Guns and tasers and all kinds of shit. Just decked out for fucking war in our goddamn neighborhood. Like a worthless piece of shit. Alright. Exactly. If you weren't breaking the law and
not the raid. Not the raid, the reaction. Because every time enforcement shows up, someone yells, due process, like it's a magic spell of some sort. Like, but here's the part they don't like saying out loud. If you're here illegally, the process is removal. Simple. That's not cruel. That's not extreme. That's literally the rule book that they ignored. Literally. And I want you to watch how fast the energy changes when the script doesn't go their way.
Say your name. Are you guys immigration? Are they ICE? What is it?
Stay back. Stay back, man.
No. What is your name?
Back up.
Do you have a warrant?
Stay back.
Do they have a warrant?
Yeah. Stay back.
They do have a warrant? Is that sure? Are you sure? They showed you a warrant?
Back.
They showed you a warrant? I'm staying back. Don't yell at me like that.
How many times I gotta tell you?
I'm staying right where I was, you asshole. Fuck you, ICE. Fuck you, piece of shit. Get the fucking tags. Yeah, fucking run over me, you fucking piece of shit. Fucking asshole. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. You fucking asshole. Fucking dick. It's ICE. 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 Fuck you.
Sheesh.
It's ICE.
Take a sip of
ICE.
What do you plan to accomplish? Did y'all catch that though? She asked, I said though. Did y'all catch that though? She asks, did they show you a warrant? He says, yes. And suddenly the activism crashes immediately because the outrage only works if the facts cooperate. They didn't. Now, here's what people get uncomfortable when enforcement isn't just paperwork.
Los Angeles police were called to the Village Point Apartments after an off-duty ICE enforcement and removal operations officer who lives at the complex reported a man firing a rifle into the air. The LAPD says the off-duty ICE officer left his apartment to investigate after hearing the gunfire. At some point, they say the man firing the rifle was shot. In a statement, DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin says the off-duty ICE officer stepped outside with his ICE-authorized firearm and encountered a man armed with what appeared to be a long rifle. She says the officer identified himself as law enforcement and ordered the man to drop the weapon. When the man refused, McLaughlin says the officer fired his weapon in an attempt to disarm him. She says the man then fired at least 3 rounds at the officer. She says the officer then returned to his apartment for his ICE-issued body armored and called the LAPD. When officers arrived, the man was already dead. The ICE officer was not injured. Neighbors say the shooting has left them stunned.
Let's be clear. Nobody wanted this outcome. But when someone fires a rifle into the air, threatens people, and ignores commands, I mean, what do you expect? This is quite literally what accountability looks like. Law enforcement, isn't a suggestion, and authority doesn't just disappear because someone doesn't like it. So, why is all of this happening now? Because the message has changed.
And the Trump administration taking a victory lap on securing the southern border. The Department of Homeland Security announcing figures from November mark the 7th straight month of 0 releases at the border. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president isn't taking his foot off the gas in 2026.
As for the next year, the American people have so much to look forward to. The president will continue to build off of his historic accomplishments. The border will continue to stay shut. Mass deportations will continue.
Let's bring in our power panel now. Former acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey and Art Del Cueto, former National Border Patrol Council Vice President, now Border Security Advisor for the Federation of American Immigration Reform. Thank you, gentlemen, for talking to me today, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you for having me.
Happy New Year.
All right, Jonathan, I'm going to start with you. I mean, that is an incredible number that there are 0 border crossings, illegal border crossings. I mean, that is unheard of. That is unreal. It's actually hard to believe considering the millions that we would report under the Biden administration. What say you in 2026? Does the president eventually start to loosen up immigration laws, or is it going to continue to tighten the noose?
I don't think he'll loosen them at all. And you're absolutely right how incredible it is that basically we were at a world that we would have 10, 12,000 people a day crossing the border, getting caught at the border, released into the country under the Biden administration. And now the Trump administration has shut that down. But I think it's going to remain sealed, and they are going to have more resources next year. And the great thing about all of this, it's not just the border, but all of us are safer because of it. If you look at these crime numbers, murders are down 20%. We may have the lowest murder rate since 1960. And that's important because 1960 was the first year we tracked murders in this country. Mm-hmm. It's truly astonishing. We're all benefiting. And I think Caroline Leavitt's right. He will keep the foot on the gas and the American people will benefit.
Art, I know one of your biggest pet peeves, just from the many times that I've interviewed you, is the whole past notion of catch and release. Okay, so these people now are being caught and deported, which is a very different immigration reform practice that this administration has adopted as opposed to years past. So now what do you do with those that are still in custody here in the United States, specifically the criminals? Do they get tried here first, or do they get deported?
I think you kind of try to figure out what types of crimes they've committed, and you try some of those and you make them pay their debt to society in the United States. Others you deport, because you have to pay attention on what crimes they've committed. You can't just deport everyone and not have them pay a price here, because what they'll do is they'll turn around and try to come back in. But one of the big things that we need to really look at, and what President Trump has done, is he's managed to bring those numbers down. Our border is now more secure than it's ever been. And he didn't start from zero. He started from the negative. The last administration allowed everyone to come in just by saying asylum. So he started from the negative. He secured our nation's borders more than anyone else has. And he continues to do so with all the naysayers that are out there, with the politicians that have proven that not only do they hate President Trump, but they've proven that they hate America and they hate American citizens because they haven't done anything for this country to keep it secure. President Trump, we have witnessed something that has never been done before. And at the same time, I admire the president because he didn't even have to do this. He did it because he wanted to make sure the country's secure. So I'm very excited for the next 3 years. I'm definitely excited for the short run of this next year and see what's going to happen. But he's just done amazing already on the borders as it is.
Yeah, Jonathan, border crossings plummeting under Trump. DHS has announced that year over year, border crossings are down. It's incredible. 93% in illegal aliens removed by DHS, over 622,000. And that doesn't include the approximate 2 million that have self-deported, which is quite impressive.
Yes, it really is. And that self-deportation number, I think, will continue to grow up because people know they're not going to be able to stay here and they're going to get caught and arrested. But one thing that's important with the 600,000 number, 400 and I believe 23,000 of them had criminal records. And that's a big reason why we're having a major crime decrease. And the other thing that we should look at next year, overdose deaths are going to be down dramatically also because of Art and his guys and President Trump.
Yeah. No, kudos to the guys on the border. That is one of the toughest jobs right now. Jonathan Fahey, thank you very much. And Arthur Cueto, great to see you both. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Julie. Happy New Year.
New Year.
I keep trying to butt in. My fault, y'all. But this is definitely the part that they hoped you would not connect. Y'all, my dog is behind me right now, joining us. Y'all can't see it, but border crossings collapse. Releases stop, removals spike, and suddenly enforcement inside the country isn't controversial anymore. It's possible. And that's not accidental. That's leadership right there. And when Donald Trump calls it a signal, he's not talking in metaphors, all right? Now, let's talk about the part everyone argues about, which is consequences.
Yes, I got deported after 20 plus years and 97+% of my life in the United States. ICE agents picked me up in Chicago and threw me in jail for 3 weeks because my parents did not file my paperwork correctly. They brought me to the United States on a visa, overstayed that visa, had opportunities to appeal it in court, and my father did not show up to court. Now I'm in the United Kingdom, and this country sucks. And it has made me more America first, because you see that outside of London, all of England is a third world country, a dump. I hate it here. And I am excited and ready to go back to the United States, but I have a 10-year ban to wait out. And I'm waiting to bring my fiance over because I had a wedding scheduled that I had to cancel. And it's taken everything in me to forgive my parents for what they've done to me and what they've caused. But I'll keep going on.
Now, this is probably the hardest clip because he didn't sneak in last week, right? He grew up here. He sounds American, and yet the law didn't bend. That's the point. A system that works has to work even when it's uncomfortable. And if you're wondering why the system got this messy in the first place, this is why.
Only on CBS News Chicago, a twist in the immigration story. A viewer reached out to us, and he's both very lucky, and then his luck suddenly changed. Our Sabrina Franza live for us at Bally's in River North. And Sabrina, he can't get paid for a jackpot because of his immigration status.
Hey, Marie, normally when somebody wins a jackpot on a slot machine, they're given their award winnings within minutes. But that's not what happened here. It's been over a week, and this person says he still hasn't received a dime.
Been regular since they opened, and I've won like 11 jackpots, I believe, in the past. fast and never had any problem.
This player asked we refer to him as Nick. We are concealing his identity at his request. He expressed concerns as an immigrant in today's political climate. Back on December 20th, he hit the jackpot on a slot machine. He says he presented Bally's Casino with this ID, a legitimate, limited-term, real ID, government issued to those like Nick, asylum seekers with proper documentation, valid for the duration of their authorized stay.
This time, however, they decided to not pay it off because of my limited term ID. And I've always had that kind of idea.
He says his earnings would have been $1,250 that day.
It would mean a lot. It's not, especially now for the holidays.
We asked an expert to weigh in.
So if you have a real ID with your photo on it and the strip on the back, that's normally sufficient to cash a jackpot anywhere in the country. His limited term ID is issued to people who are not residents of the U.S. but are here temporarily, in his case, requesting asylum. And as we discussed, it's more difficult and more stringent to get that than it is to get a regular real ID driver's license.
Meantime, Nick has been going back and forth with Bally's for days with no resolution.
Knowing that our state and our city is like protecting all these like immigrants and stuff, and then they're just like, it felt discriminatory, that's all.
Now, we're still waiting to hear back from the Illinois Gaming Board, though. We did reach out to Bally's, and they told us they couldn't comment specifically on Nick's case. We asked them to point us in the direction of the policy that relates to his specific immigration status, to his real ID, and they didn't. Nick did tell us that he would keep us posted if anything changes. We're live in River North. Sabrina Franza, CBS News, Chicago. Marie.
What an interesting story. Thank you, Sabrina.
Now, this is what happens when you blur lines for years. Temporary IDs, loopholes, confusion everywhere. Not evil, just chaos. And chaos always ends in the same way, with someone finally cleaning it up. So let me say this again, calmly, clearly, without drama. This wasn't a threat. This wasn't rhetoric. This was the signal being executed. No second warnings, no pause. No pauses, no pretending nothing's changed. America didn't wake up to a speech. It woke up to action. And if you watch this whole thing, comment, no second warning. I don't know I don't know exactly who stayed to the end. Y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.